accessibility, and limitations in the locale. This elaboration provides depth and nuance suitable for Chapter 3 of a thesis, especially in qualitative, descriptive, or mixed methods research. Accessibility and limitations in the locale, 100 paragraphs. The Paris. Selection of the research locale is a critical decision in thesis writing, influencing data collection, reliability, and contextual relevance. Accessibility refers to the ease with which the researcher can enter, navigate, and interact with the study site and its participants. Limitations, on the other hand, are the barriers and constraints that can affect the execution of the research within that locale. Santiago Hills Technical Institute, SHTI, was chosen as the locale due to its unique characteristics that align with the objectives of the study. 1. Of the primary reasons for selecting this site is its geographic accessibility to the researcher. Located along a provincial highway, SHTI is accessible through various forms of land transportation, such as buses, motorcycles, and tricycles. The transportation infrastructure within the locality is generally reliable, allowing the researcher to travel to and from the site without undue hardship. The short distance between the researcher's residence and the site reduces travel costs and scheduling conflicts. This proximity enables frequent and sustained interaction with the research participants, a key requirement in qualitative inquiries. In addition to geographic access, the institution's administrative openness facilitated the research process. Prior to data collection, a formal letter of request was sent to the school head, who responded positively and approved the conduct of the study. The school assigned a focal person to assist with coordination, particularly in scheduling interviews and distributing surveys. This institutional support contributed to a smooth research flow and reduced administrative delays. The institution also granted access to student records, class schedules, and other relevant documents to support data triangulation. Accessibility in terms of communication was another enabling factor, as the school maintained email, mobile, and social media channels for updates and coordination. The institution's engagement with community stakeholders, including local government and industry partners, further enriched the research environment. Teachers, students, and administrators at SHTI showed enthusiasm in participating, which enhanced data quality. The presence of active alumni networks allowed the researcher to collect long-term insights about the school's educational outcomes. Alumni who had undergone technical-vocational training and had moved abroad were contacted via online platforms. This digital accessibility allowed the researcher to overcome spatial barriers in collecting alumni perspectives. The school's relatively small student population made it feasible to conduct in-depth data collection through interviews, FGDs, and document analysis. Because the school maintains a structured schedule, it was easier for the researcher to plan data collection activities with minimal disruption to classes. The school's history of accommodating researchers and its culture of continuous improvement increased its receptivity to research interventions. Technological infrastructure also supported the research process. The school is equipped with internet facilities, projectors, and computers, which were useful for presentations and electronic survey distribution. The availability of digital records, such as enrollment data and curriculum outlines, streamlined the document review process. Online communication was especially useful during peak academic seasons, when face-to-face contact was less feasible. These strengths highlight the multiple dimensions of accessibility found in the research locale. However, like any research site, SHTI also presented certain limitations that affected the process. One key limitation was the limited time available from faculty members due to their multiple teaching loads. Scheduling interviews with some staff proved difficult as their availability was constrained by administrative responsibilities. The school year calendar presented another limitation, particularly during grading periods and TESDA assessments. These academic peaks required careful planning to avoid disrupting institutional functions. Student availability was another challenge, especially for those who were undergoing on-the-job training, OJT. Some students were not on campus during data collection and had to be reached through digital means. In some cases, weak internet connectivity prevented successful completion of online interviews or survey responses, while alumni were eager to participate. Their availability was limited due to time zone differences and work commitments. This constraint required the researcher to schedule asynchronous interviews and follow up via email or chat. Another limitation was the partial availability of school documents, particularly historical data on past program implementations. Some documents were incomplete or archived in non-digitized formats, which slowed down the analysis. The school's reliance on paper-based filing limited access to some older records, especially those stored off-site. Translation was also a minor barrier, as some student respondents were more comfortable using vernacular languages. To address this, the researcher allowed bilingual responses and provided translations when necessary. This, however, added an additional step in the transcription and coding process. There were also instances where respondents were hesitant to give critical feedback about the institution. Some feared that their opinions might be traced back to them despite assurances of anonymity. This social desirability bias may have tempered the honesty of a few responses. The researcher used indirect questioning techniques and reinforced confidentiality protocols to minimize this effect. A further limitation was institutional politics that made certain stakeholders cautious during interviews. Despite formal approval, some departments were reluctant to share documents without administrative clearance. These bureaucratic hurdles extended the data-gathering timeline. The school's decentralized record-keeping system also meant that some files were not uniformly categorized. The inconsistency in document labeling and storage required more time. For manual cross-referencing, the researcher encountered occasional resistance from gatekeepers who were unclear about the research purpose. Additional time was spent on orientation and clarifying the study's goals to institutional partners. Budget. Constraints also imposed limits, especially in printing materials and covering repeat site visits. The researcher had to balance personal finances with academic obligations, particularly when accessing external libraries or archives. Limited access to secondary data outside the Locale also affected comparative analysis. Some relevant studies were not locally available, and subscription paywalls hindered access to international journals. The researcher compensated by using open access sources and contacting authors for copies of unpublished materials. Another logistical issue was classroom availability for focus. Group discussions. Since most rooms were fully booked during weekdays, some FGDs had to be held during weekends or after class hours. This required additional coordination with campus security and custodial staff. Environmental factors, such as noise from nearby construction, occasionally disrupted audio recordings. 2. Mitigate this, the researcher used lapel microphones and conducted re-recordings where necessary. Weather-related interruptions, such as heavy rains or floods, occasionally delayed site visits. The region experiences monsoon seasons that can impede road access and attendance. Safety concerns were minimal, but COVID-19 protocols still required compliance with mask wearing and physical distancing. These protocols affected the format of some interactions, particularly group-based discussions. Health declarations and entry permissions occasionally delayed campus access. Despite limitations, the researcher maintained adaptability through a flexible research plan. Contingency strategies included adjusting interview formats, extending timelines, and maintaining regular contact with stakeholders. The institution's support was instrumental in navigating these challenges. Periodic consultations with school leaders helped resolve unforeseen issues. The collaborative attitude of participants ensured data richness despite logistical barriers. Overall, accessibility outweighed the limitations experienced during the study. The physical, technological, and institutional accessibility made SHTI a viable research setting. Challenges encountered were typical of fieldwork in educational institutions and were mitigated through planning and rapport building. The researchers' familiarity with the area contributed to effective time management and contextual understanding. Being a part of the community enhanced the researchers' ability to interpret responses and nonverbal cues. Participant trust was cultivated over time, leading to more honest and insightful data. The school's educational mission aligned with the study's objectives, promoting cooperation. The institution viewed the study as a potential source of feedback for future program development. This perceived mutual benefit reinforced the commitment of stakeholders to participate meaningfully. The Locale's alignment with research questions, feasibility constraints, and social dynamics strengthened the research foundation. The researchers' immersion in the setting allowed for a more authentic interpretation of the findings. The accessibility of the Locale allowed repeated visits for member checking and validation of results. Limitations, though present, were addressed ethically and transparently in the research protocol. By acknowledging these constraints, the researcher enhanced the credibility and trustworthiness of the study. Ethical considerations were upheld throughout the research process, including voluntary participation and informed consent. Limitations were documented in field notes and incorporated into the final discussion of research findings. Recognizing these barriers also contributed to realistic recommendations and implementation. Strategies. The researcher learned valuable skills in negotiation, flexibility, and cultural sensitivity through overcoming locale-specific challenges. These experiences added depth to the researcher's analysis and interpretation of the data. The study Locale, with all its strengths and shortcomings, offered a realistic and rich setting for applied research. Its accessibility ensured continuity, while its limitations tested the researcher's adaptability and resilience. These dualities enriched the research experience and provided insights that would not have been possible in a purely ideal setting. In conclusion, accessibility and limitations in the Locale are not merely logistical factors, but are integral to the research narrative. Understanding and addressing these aspects is essential for maintaining the integrity and validity of the research. Santiago Hills Technical Institute, as a Locale, proved to be both a supportive environment and a reflective microcosm of the challenges and opportunities in educational program development. If you find this content helpful, subscribe to stay updated on the next tips for writing. Chapter 3. Feel free to comment below with topics you'd like us to cover in future content. Thank you.
Late night coffee cup, minds in a race, staring at the screen trying to find my place. Outlines messy, deadlines tight, gotta make this thesis shine so bright. Sources, research, writing flow, draft and edit, take it slow. Citations right, no mistakes, one more page, oh for goodness sake. Write it, cite it, don't deny it, every word refine, revise it, step by step, don't lose your mind, that degree's about to shine. Lit reviews long, but I push ahead, methodologies got me seeing red. Data's done, now analyze, find the gaps and theorize. Feedback's in, don't be stressed, rewrite, refine, do your best. Hesitation's up, take a breath, this thesis stands the test. Write it, cite it, stay excited, all this work, can't deny it. Step by step, you're almost there, the thesis life, it's only fair. Late night coffee cup, minds in a race, staring at the screen trying to find my place. Outlines messy, deadlines tight, gotta make this thesis shine so bright. Sources, research, writing flow, draft and edit, take it slow. Citations right, no mistakes, one more page, oh for goodness sake. Write it, cite it, don't deny it, every methodologies got me seeing red. Data's done, now analyze, find the gaps and theorize. Feedback's in, don't be stressed. Rewrite, refine, do your best. Presentation's up, take a breath. This thesis stands the test. Only fair. Coffee cup, minds in a race, staring at the screen, trying to find my place. Outlines messy, deadlines tight, gotta make this thesis shine so bright. Sources, research, writing flow, draft and edit, take it slow. Citations right, no mistakes, one more page, oh for goodness sake. Don't deny it, every word refine, revise it. Step by step, don't lose your mind. That degree's about to shine. Review's long, but I push ahead. Methodologies got me seeing red. Data's done, now analyze, find the gaps and theorize. Feedback's in, don't be stressed. Rewrite, refine, do your best. Vision's up, take a breath. This thesis stands the test. Write it, cite it, stay excited. It's only fair. Late night coffee cup, minds in a race, staring at the screen, trying to find my place. Outlines messy, deadlines tight, gotta make this thesis shine so bright. Sources, research, writing flow, draft and edit, take it slow. Citations right, no mistakes, one more page, oh for goodness sake. Write it, cite it, don't deny it, every word refine, revise it. Step by step, don't lose your mind. That degree's about to shine. Lit review's long, but I push ahead. Methodologies got me seeing red. Data's done, now analyze, find the gaps and theorize. Feedback's in, don't be stressed. Rewrite, refine, do your best. Vision's up, take a breath. This thesis stands the test. Write it, cite it, stay excited. All this work, can't deny it. Step by step, you're almost there. That the thesis life, it's only